everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Catherine Cooksey, and I'm really excited because I am starting a new series apart from my Artist Aid conversation for beginning and professional artists as far as professional development. This series is going to be more about what kind of topics and conversation fuel my own artwork. I'm a conceptual artist, so every piece that I make has a concept behind it, and most of that has to do with gender issues, political issues, and so this playlist and this video and the videos to follow are going to be just a conversation with you as the viewer. I want to hear what your thoughts about what I'm talking about. Most of it will be from all different resources, the news, or even everyday life, social media. Today we are going to be talking about Playboy's decision to reintroduce nudity back into their magazine after just 1 year of trying no nudes. So what are your thoughts? I know my thoughts, but I don't know my thoughts all the way to a point where I'm like, yes, this is wrong or this is right. I'm more going back and forth. Actually, that's a lie. I'm totally trying. I know that I don't like this decision, but I also know that America is the land of the free, and I know that society will always have this need to be sexual creatures, but what I don't like about this reintroduction of nudity is that, like Cooper Hefner stated, and I have it here actually, he said, quote, "I'll be the first to admit that the way in which the magazine portrayed nudity was dated. But nudity was never the problem because nudity isn't a problem." And that I agree with. Nudity is not a problem. Being an artist, we have nude painting classes, and the human figure is beautiful, and that's natural. But that is not what Playboy is just about. Playboy is also about nudity, but the way in which they do nudity is objectification of women for a sexual purpose. Playboy has always been men's entertainment, and I read someplace that they took that off the cover, but that has been on their cover for so long that that's how people look at it. Playboy is for men. These women are naked for men, for their pleasure. And so that's the conversation that I have a really hard time with, because and this has a lot to do with how I discovered Playboy as a little girl. I remember it very distinctly, and it has stayed with me through my conversation within my artwork. I don't specifically remember my age. I think I was maybe 8 or 9, but I was at a relative's house playing hide and seek, and in my hiding spot I look over and there's probably 4 or 5 Playboy magazines, and I just remember being so surprised and shocked, and I remember taking them out and like looking through them and just not understanding what the purpose was, how I related to it, knowing that by looking at this magazine I was doing something wrong. So I really didn't want to get caught looking at these magazines, but I couldn't also not look because I had never ever seen something like that before. My dad never had, you know, nude posters or sexy women poster calendars or anything like that growing up. So this finding, I just couldn't wrap my head around it, because at that age I know I'm going to grow up with a female body, that I wanted to be pretty. I was always interested in wanting to be pretty because Disney princesses were pretty, and that's what a little girl had to be, was pretty, and these women were pretty, but then they were doing these things with their body and posing sexually that I had never seen before. And was that my role as a little girl? Was that what I had to grow up and do? Were people expecting me to do this? I just didn't know, and that stayed with me for a long time. And when I started making artwork that was talking about this same conversation, I would start collecting Playboys from other people if they were getting rid of them, or at thrift stores. But it was interesting to be able to allow myself as an adult woman to claim the right to look at a Playboy, to own a Playboy, and to destroy a Playboy for my art, and to have that conversation with myself, and not have it be for men only, or that I was scared to look through this magazine. But it is definitely objectification towards women as decoration, or just being seen as sexual objects. So I can go on and on about this discussion, but I really want to hear your thoughts, and we can keep up a dialogue. So feel free to comment below and let me know what you think of the decision that Playboy has made to reintroduce nudity back into their magazine. Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? And how does it relate to our world today as far as young girls and boys growing up? Because it does affect both of us in all different kinds of ways.